Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Catherine and this is Raspberry Reads. You might notice that I'm wearing the same outfit as in my previous video, and that's because I'm filming 2 videos in a row, purely for time's sake, so please forgive me for the lack of outfit change. But yes, I'm taking advantage of decent sunlight today, good lighting, and the fact that I've got some time to film. So this video today is my winter TBR. I know we're already in winter, and obviously I have been reading since I did my autumn wrap up, and I will include all the books that I've read so far in a final wrap up for winter. But since we have to get to mid-March before the end of winter, I thought I'd let you know about some of the books that I hope to finish in the next couple of months. So first up, let me just reach. Ooh. Yeah, so first up, I am almost halfway through Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. We are reading this as the first book for my book club in 2025. And it's one that I wanted to get to for ages. I love Barbara Kingsolver's writing. Even though I've only read Flight Behavior by her, I knew before I even started reading this that I was going to love it, and I absolutely do. It is a fantastic book. So yes, in terms of finishing it, I need to finish it by early February. If you don't know what this book is, or what it's about rather, Demon Copperhead is a retelling of David Copperfield. Sorry, I had to think for a second. David Copperfield by Dickens, which I have not read, but as far as I understand it, that is also about a boy who is struggling with poverty and sort of his life. And this is set in West Virginia, sort of the Appalachian areas, which is very impoverished in the United States. And it's all about a boy named Damon, or Demon, as he's known as, who really struggles. He's in the social care system, and yeah, so far it's just about his life and the challenges and hardship he faces and the resilience he needs to have. And yeah, it's just a really good book. From what I can gather, I think Barbara Kingsolver is from that area because she seems to just understand and write about that culture so beautifully and sensitively. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure this is sort of her area of expertise, and that really comes through in Demon Copperhead. So yes, must finish this before mid-February. The second book that I have been working on is Dust by Howey, and so this is the third and final installment of the Silo series. And I had to return it because it was an e-book loan on the Libby app. And so now I need to wait again, probably about 10 weeks before I can get back to it again. But it's really good so far. I wouldn't say right now it's as good as Wool or Shift, the first or second books, but I am still really into it, and I definitely want to know I want to know what happens. Hopefully I can finish Dust before spring. Next, reaching everywhere today. You could tell this is where I like to read. Next, I need to finish this book, which is Why Women Grow, and this is by Alice Vincent, and I picked this up on a whim when I was in Daunt Books back in November, I think, and it's good. It's not so far, which is, sorry, I'm 100 pages, no, I'm 50 pages in. So I thought it was going to be more about just gardens and women gardening. It's actually more about, so far, more about motherhood and I guess maybe infertility and yeah, the connection between why these women had sorry, I'm really croaky today, had sort of identity challenges in with their idea of motherhood and how that connects to why they started to garden. I'm not explaining that very well, but this is Alice Vincent is a journalist, and she's going to interview people in England, or maybe the UK. I think so far she's just done England. And they're really interesting stories. It's just I'm not connecting to them in how I expected to. But yeah, I'm not going to say much more about it because I'd like to finish it before I give you my full thoughts. But in any case, Why Women Grow, I'd like to get to finishing this before spring. Next up is The Familiar. Yeah, The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I finally started this back in October, November time, and I am really enjoying it, but I had to put it down to start reading Demon Copperhead. So I would like to finish this book before spring, and this is set in Spain during the Spanish Inquisition, and it's about a woman who can do magic, and so far it's sort of how she, Lucia Cortado, she uses magic, and then it's kind of complicated, to be honest, but she is a servant in a house, and then now that they've discovered that she can do magic, she's caught the attention of people sort of involved in the court, and I think there's going to be some sort of magic duel or competition, which reminds me a lot of the night circus. But yeah, I don't really want to, I didn't read too much about it because I wanted it to be a surprise, so I'm not going to say too much more about it other than I am enjoying it. It's not the best thing I've ever read, to be perfectly honest, but I still will persevere with it and finish it before spring. Another book that I am currently listening to, and one that I've read many, many times, is The Hobbit by JRR Tolkien, and I'm listening to the audiobook narrated by Andy Serkis. I just happened to find it on Libby, and I thought, why not? I love Andy Serkis. I think he's a great actor, and does voices really well. And yes, he does. He is brilliant at voicing all of the different characters in The Hobbit. And yeah, so sometimes I just like to fall asleep listening to Andy Serkis, and there's nothing wrong about that. And then, so the books that I would like to get back to and finish are the following. So we've got, oh my gosh, you can see, I don't know if that picks up on the camera, but it is dusty, which shows how long I've been holding off on this one. So this is The Secret History by Donna Tart. I started this, I don't even know, maybe February of 2024, and it's really good. I just couldn't get into it. So I'm only 120 pages in. To be perfectly honest, I might need to go back and start again because I don't really remember too much about what's going on. I just don't have a lot to say about this one. I can't figure out why it is that I'm not pulled to it when it should be something that I would love. I think perhaps it's just quite dense and complicated, and the pacing is quite slow, so that could be why, that maybe I'm just looking for things that are a bit fast-paced, a bit more fast-paced. But in any case, have you read The Secret History? If so, without any spoilers, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, in terms of how you got on with it, and if it's worth persevering with, because I really would like to read it, but if I'm going to be wasting my time, then I'd like to know. And another book that I would like to get back to is Wilding, and this is by Isabella Tree. So this is such a great book. It's a non-fiction look at a British farm estate and how they wanted to rewild it after they basically went bankrupt. And I am, again, 100 pages in, and I I don't know why I didn't finish it. It's just I get sidetracked quite easily when I read, and especially with nonfiction, it has to be really gripping. Otherwise, my mind wanders, and I would rather read fiction, to be honest. But yes, nonetheless, I would like to finish Wilding because it is an interesting book and it is an important topic. Okay, and then in terms of the books that I would like to get to at some point this winter is Opal by Patricia Wolfe. So this is the third book in a series. I think his name is D.S. Walker, and it's a police thriller set in Australia. The first one was set in the Outback and was called Outback. The second one, I think, was called Paradise and was set... Where was that set? Bondi, maybe? The Gold Coast. And they were both really good. They're just easy detective novels. And I read them on the Libby app. So I have Opal ready to go, and I've just keep sort of pushing it back because I haven't had time to read another ebook. So I'd like to get to that one at some point in the next month or so. Another book that I've been saying I want to get to for ages is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. And this is the first in the Broken Earth series. This is all about a changing world, or the world is falling apart. Yeah, and beyond the fact that it's sort of apocalyptic, I don't really know too much about this one other than I've heard great things. So I really, really want to get to this this year. I feel sad for it that I keep neglecting it. So yeah, The Fifth Season. I know lots of you have commented to say, yes, get to it because it's brilliant. So I will. So yeah, those are two books that I'd like to get to. Otherwise, guys, I have fallen into the ACOTAR trap. I started reading A Court of Thorn and Roses over Christmas and through the Libby app, and I really like it. It's not the best piece of literature that I've ever read, but I've definitely gripped, and I would like to keep going with the series. So I'm not finished A Court of Thorn and Roses yet by Sarah J. Maas. But I think I've got maybe 150 pages to go. And I'm going to put A Court of Mist and Fury, which is the second one, on my holds and read that at some point in the spring, because why not? Why not join everybody and their cat in reading ACOTAR? Yeah, it's good fun. And I do like fantasy, I should say. I don't really read romance, but I do enjoy fantasy, especially high fantasy. So from that perspective, I am enjoying reading about fairies and creepy creatures and all that sort of thing. And then otherwise, I would still like to get to The Glassmaker by Tracy Chevalier. So this book came out late last year, and it's set in Venice, and it is a sort of multi-generational saga, I think. And it's had pretty good reviews. I generally like Tracy Chevalier's writing, so it's something that I just hope to get to at some point soon. And then otherwise, I'd like to read The Serviceberry by Robin Wall Kimmerer. Again, that came out in November, I think. And since I enjoyed reading Sweetgrass so much, I feel like I will like to read this next book by her as well. So yeah, those are some of the books that I'd like to get to in the next couple of months. Not all, I'm sure. But what are your reading plans for the rest of winter? Or summer if you're in the other hemisphere. And do you have any books that you're really desperate to get to, particularly ones that you think I'd enjoy? I'd love to hear your recommendations as well. But yeah, so I've been rambling on for almost 10 minutes now, and I wanted to keep this video sort of short and sweet. So I will leave you there with my winter reading plans. and I will definitely let you know how I get on with these when I do a wrap-up video at some point in the spring. But for now, I will just say I hope you're doing all well. I hope you're all doing well, and I will see you soon in a new video. Okay, take care.